Lisa, thank you so much for taking out the time to be here. It's
Thank you.
such an interesting time for studying in Netherlands, isn't it?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm also very happy to be here and to have the opportunity to present, like, say, a few words about the Netherlands today. Yeah, I will present like some of the advantages of coming studying in the Netherlands. Why is it like attractive for international students? And yeah, just let me know when I can start, and I will just go with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we will just start in a minute.
Yeah.
Hello, students. Welcome once again to the Webby Fairs. And this is a virtual university fair for you, where a lot of universities from 5 different countries are there today. And this is the presentation on study in Netherlands by Dr. Lisa from University of Twente. She will be presenting, and if you have any questions, please put it in the chat box, and we will take some of the questions here on general study in Netherlands. For any specifics about University of Twente, please make sure that you go and meet her in her room in the virtual lobby. Please go ahead, Dr. Lee.
Yeah, thank you. So my name is Lisa Broussois, and I'm actually so French. I'm French, and I came to the Netherlands because of the opportunities that you have for studying and also for working. So it means that I'm also like part of this international community that came once in the Netherlands to learn more about like what are the possibilities, and I've found it personally very attractive because of this close connection that you have between studies and the job market. So I will try to just, yeah, just to present briefly the topics of today, and then like keep time for the questions after that. So feel free to just like write your questions, and then we will take time to answer them. But I will briefly present a bit about why the Netherlands, why is it interesting to study, come here as an international student. I'll explain briefly give some information about the Dutch system, how it works, what are the main differences between the universities, how to find a program, like you know that you like a subject, but how do you find like the program that is right for you in the Netherlands. I will say a few words about finance, housing, how to find an accommodation, how to apply, what about this international community that I mentioned like before in the Netherlands. And finally, I will say a few words about the University of Twente, because that's where I work. So I work in the international team at the University of Twente. So I help like international students, just like you, to find like the right fit, the right programs for them. And if you see the map, we are really in the eastern part of the Netherlands, in the city of Enschede. So it's really close to the border with Germany. It's 10 minutes by car or by train, and it's on the other side of the country. If you compare with Amsterdam, and Amsterdam is like 2 hours by train or by car from where we are, and it's really big because it's a small country, so everything is really reachable in 2 hours. So just like you have an idea of who we are and where we are. And then I will mention like some of the advantages, like why so many like international students come to study in the Netherlands. So you have a high quality education because the majority of the institutions in the Netherlands are public, and they are like accredited by the Dutch government, which means that you have like a high quality of education that is like recognized by the Dutch government and would be also recognized worldwide. So that's why like you always have like all research universities in the Netherlands are in the top 200, like in rankings, like for example, Times Higher ranking. So you can check that later. Then you have a lot of English taught programs, because in the Netherlands, so people speak Dutch, but they also are very fluent in English, and they really have the habit of having like programs that are fully in English. And it means that when you are an international student, then you can come to the Netherlands. You don't need to learn Dutch to study in the Netherlands in these English taught programs. And of course, like we encourage students to also learn Dutch if they want to stay after their studies in the Netherlands, because you also have like a lot of job opportunities there. But just so you know, there are more than 2,100 English taught programs in the Netherlands. It's also known, the Netherlands, for the safety. It's very multicultural, very welcoming environment. You have a very good public transportation system. Usually, like when you have like universities, like at the University of Twente, you have a campus that is like guarded, protected. You have like a security officers, like just watching the perimeters, but it's usually like very quiet and very like really safe. So it's also like one advantage of being in the Netherlands. A lot of international students are coming every year because also of the good career opportunities that you have there. So you have like many big companies that are have their headquarters in the Netherlands. So it can be ASML for chip technology, Philips, just to give some examples. It really depends on what are your interests, but you can also have a look online about like all the companies that are there. Very conveniently located in Western Europe. So just to give an idea, it's like 3 hours by train to connect Amsterdam to Paris. It's also like where we are, like we just connect Berlin in 4 hours. So it's really like everything is like connected and easy. It's easy to reach like a lot of destinations by train. Then one important information about the Netherlands is that if you come with a visa to study in the Netherlands, then you have what we call a post-study work visa. It's the possibility to stay an additional year where you can find jobs or find a position in the Netherlands and work. So you don't need to, you can stay 1 year to have the possibility to settle in the Netherlands and work there. So that's also like one advantage when you come to the Netherlands. I'll just switch to this image that explains a bit like the Dutch education system. So you have two types of universities in the Netherlands, University of Applied Sciences and research universities. The main difference is that applied science universities are really like more professionalizing. So they already have for you the idea of a set of professions, and then they are really more practical, really like working with industries and specializing you to work in a certain field. And you have research universities, and research universities also teach you research skills, academic skills. So it means that they're also quite practical. In the Netherlands, you always have like this connection with the job market and the idea that you need to stay connected with what is happening in the companies in the job market. But research university is also preparing you in case you want to do longer studies, like for example a master, like a PhD. So then you will have also independent study. You will have lecture halls with like professors, like specialists in their fields doing a bit of research. So it's kind of like two different types of education. And one important thing is that with a research university, you can directly connect to any masters, like in a research or applied science university. If you do an applied science university, you can carry on with a master in an applied science university, but then you would need to do a pre-master if you want to connect with a master in a research university. So it can be like one additional year. And this usually is because you need to learn the research skills that you are missing if you want to connect from an applied science to a research university. So that's things that you need to take into account, that you have sometimes an additional year, but it really depends on your project, on what you want to do. And again, it's two different types of education. And one last thing is that some subjects, you have them offered in both types of universities. That's the case for like engineering subjects, for example, but some subjects you have it just in a research universities. For example, psychology, you have it just in a research university. Then one important website that you can use is studyinNL.org, because that's really the starting point. You are interested in coming to the Netherlands, then you go to that website, and then you're going to have a lot of like general information about how to finance your studies, how to find a program, how does it work to apply. So because right now I'm presenting quite fast, I'm giving like a lot of information, but then you can come back to that website later and have a look. You see like the second purple column, like find the study programs, usually start here, like you click here, and then you just enter like the field that you are interested in, and they will show you, like it will show you all the universities that are offering like this type of programs. And then the best thing to do is really go to the website. So you click on the website of the different universities and you start comparing and just like seeing like what is the best fit for you, because every university, even if they offer the same, it seems that they offer the same program. For example, they both offer mechanical engineering, then it's still like a different approach. Like every university in the Netherlands never offer exactly the same thing. So you need to compare and see what is like the most interesting for me, where do I feel comfortable. So check this. And then I'll carry on with general information about the Netherlands, and I'll start with like cost, finance. It's general. So it means that the majority, as I said, of like universities in the Netherlands are public, and then it will depend on your nationality. So if you have like European nationality, so we'll really look at your passport or your ID, then you will pay for all universities 2,694 euros per year. And that's the tuition fee that you would pay in a public university. So the majority of them, it will be that, but it depends on your nationality. And if you don't have a European or like EEA nationality, then you pay between 6,000 and 20,000 euros per year. So that's the tuition fees in the Netherlands. And then there are differences per universities. Why is there like such a difference? So European nationalities, they just receive like the subsidies from the European Union. So that's why like the price is lower. And then for non-EU nationalities, the difference between 6,000 to 20,000 is usually if the program is more and more technical or not, and then how much you need to use the labs, the facilities, and then the more like you have a technical program where you need to use a lot of like materials and labs, and the higher the price is. So usually like engineering programs, it like rises a bit more. But that's like something you need to check per institution. Then when you apply, you usually also pay an application fee of 100 euros. And then it's just like for you to send the application. And then I didn't mention that because time is quite limited now, but you also have colleges in the Netherlands. And colleges, it's a different type of institutions where you can learn more than one discipline. So it's a multidisciplinary approach, and it's more like something closer to the colleges that you have in the US. So you can also like check that on the website that I mentioned before, see if it's interesting for you. And then the prices are also like a bit different. And then you also have sometimes scholarships available, but then you need to check per institution what is available. I will like mention for the University of Twente what is available after that. But it changes. So you need to check on the website of the universities. Oh, I skipped housing. So the situation with housing in the Netherlands is very different from one place to the other. So you may have heard that it's impossible to find like an accommodation in the Netherlands. The truth is, in some places it's difficult, and in some places it's easier, because it's a whole country. So the situation is never the same depending on the region where we are. I say that because in the western part of the Netherlands, that's where you have like all the big cities, Amsterdam, Rotterdam, The Hague. And because you have a higher density of population, you have also higher prices, and it's also like more challenging to find an accommodation. It doesn't mean that you cannot come and study in Amsterdam. It just means if you want to come to study in Amsterdam, you need to start early, like look in advance, and then you can always contact the university that you want to apply to, and check with them what is the support. Some universities offer accommodation, like for example colleges, like many times like they offer accommodation. So it depends on the type of universities. For us, for example, we are in the eastern part of the Netherlands. We don't have the same problems with accommodation, and one reason for that is we have a whole campus. So we do have accommodations for our students on the campus that are also available. So it means that part of our students that are coming, they will live on campus, and the other part will live around the campus in the two cities that we have close by. Usually like 15 minutes by bike, you have the city of Enschede or Hengelo. And then like students find accommodation, it's a bit easier. It's also cheaper because then it's like it's further away from Amsterdam, like as I said, 2 hours by train. So then you have like different prices. So the prices that I show you here, it's really like an average, like depending on the type of accommodation that you want, and also depending on the area where you are, it's quite different. But just to give you some ideas. And then I put that QR code so you can have just scan it, and then you have a podcast that we made quite recently to give more information about accommodation. So check the podcast, listen to it, and then you can get more information about how it works in the Netherlands. And it gives also a bit more information about how it is for the eastern part of the Netherlands, so the region where the University of Twente is. Then I will carry on with a general information about admissions in the Netherlands. So admissions in the Netherlands, it's really it differs per institution. So you always need to check the website of the university where you want to apply, and you need to check per program, whatever, what is the bachelor you want to do. Then you see the requirements. But generally, every type of international diplomas. So I mentioned IB, A levels, APs. There are no preferences. It's all fine. It's all recognized. So usually it's okay to apply with with these types of diplomas. It's perfectly recognized and it's fine. But then we look at the type of subjects that you have, and that is really important because depending on what you want to study, usually the bachelors, they will ask you, we want certain subjects. So for example, for us, we always ask for a mathematics subject. It doesn't have to be the highest level of mathematics. It depends on what you want to study, but it's this kind of requirements. You need mathematics, or you need physics, or you need chemistry, and then you need to check what is the requirement depending on what you want to study. And usually we don't select with grades, but you can have differences in institutions. But in the Netherlands, the approach is really quite open, because we want to give opportunities for students to show something else than just grades. So we look a lot at the diplomas, and then we look at the subjects, and then we have some over requirements, and it can depend. Some of the subjects that we offer, sometimes they have entrance exam, but that's not the majority of them. So that's what we call usually numerus fixus. And for us, for example, it would be psychology. So psychology, we do have an entrance exam, but for the other programs that we offer, we don't have an entrance exam. And then we would do more a matching procedure. So it means you apply, you have the requirements, and after that, the programs have a kind of an informal interview where they see what kind of students you are. But then it can be different things, it can be a portfolio audition, study choice check. It's different types of approaches per institution. One thing that is often asked is a language certificate, and then we do accept many of them, so you can check on the website of the universities. But for us, we accept Cambridge, IELTS, TOEFL, so you have a lot of possibilities. I will just carry on. When you want to apply in the Netherlands, so you have usually it's the same procedure. So you will always start with studylink.com, which is the general website, and you apply on the last year of your high school. So you wait for the last year of high school, and then you apply from October, and then it can be different per institution. So you have to check. For us, usually we look at the nationalities, because some nationalities you will need a visa. So then you have until 1st of May to apply. But so if you have European nationality, you have until 1st of July. So it's quite different. But then you go to StudyLink, and then from StudyLink, you will be redirected to the platform of the university. So you follow the step, provide some documents, and then they will just send you to the platform of the university. So it's centralized at the beginning, and they ask different types of documents. You just follow the steps. It's quite intuitive. And then you finish the application with the university. And just so you know, the universities in the Netherlands, they always have a visa department that supports you with the visa procedure. So it means when you apply for the University of Twente, the visa department, so once you apply, you are accepted, conditionally accepted, then the visa department reaches out to you, and they do they do the administration and the steps for you. So it's not something that you do alone. It's something that the university supports you with it. So that's how it works. So that's for the general information. I said that I would leave time for questions. So just let me know if there are already some questions, because if not, I'm going to just talk and just
At the moment, no, Dr.
no.
Giza. But thank you
Okay.
so much for this one. I have a question though.
Oh, absolutely.
So, how should students start preparing for the application process? So, I know that it starts on 1st October for most of the universities, but how should and what should be the timelines that students should keep in mind?
Yeah. So what we say is that because the application process in the Netherlands, you don't have that much documents to send because they really like focus on the type of diplomas that you do, and they really like look like at certain subjects. So it's not that you have to write a statement or later or have references. It doesn't work that way. But the thing is that we recommend that you apply as soon as possible, because as soon as you know that you are interested in applying for the Netherlands, you go to StudyLink and you can apply, and you can apply up to 4 different programs. And for numerous fixes, it's maximum 2. But the thing is that you get your answer maximum 4-5 weeks after applying. So it's already like a conditional advice or offer saying, yes, like you have the right documents and you are admissible, or no, you are missing some documents. And then it gives you the time to complete your application, because sometimes it would be just you are missing like a certificate of English. So then you have the time during your last year to prepare that certificate of English. Sometimes it would be, oh, you don't have the right level in mathematics, but there are some online tests that you can do and that the university would recognize. And then you have time to register for one of them, do it online, and then complete your application. So usually you receive the answer a few weeks after applying, and then you already know. And I think it's really the advice that we give in general: apply as soon as possible. So you have the information already. Is
Great.
yeah. Um,
We have a question here. It says, what possible programs can I apply to with physics, chemistry, biology as my A levels?
Yeah, so usually, well, it's difficult to answer for all the universities in the Netherlands, but like many technical, like science programs should be like fine with that. But think about mathematics, because that's always like the first thing that they look at is like mathematics A level, and then in combination with all these programs. If you don't have the A level in mathematics, what can happen? But then again, check per institution, because some institutions may be like, I know that it's very common to require mathematics, but maybe some institutions, some programs don't. But for us, for example, it would be always mathematics as first subject, and then like we look at others. But then you can always like do this online test that I was mentioning. So if you don't have like the right A level in mathematics, you can always say, oh, but I can do like that's the James Boswell beta exam, for example, that we accept that you can do online. And then you can always prepare that mathematics certificate and complete your application with that. But it depends. Yeah, usually math, physics, like computer science is also like fine for like all that is science engineering programs. But again, it's very general information now. You need to look per university, look per programs, what are the requirements. Yeah, and if you want to know more about the requirements at the University of Twente, like when I will be in my room, like I can just like give you more information. Oh, I think you're muted.
So sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
So we do have a question that seems generic. It says, does the Netherlands accept KCSE, which is the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, as a study level?
That's a good question, and I cannot answer now, but I can have a look later, like when I am in the room. Like, let me check, because that's a good question, and I can check at least for my university, and then we can have a look like more generally, because it also like depends per university. So I
All
can have a
right,
look.
we have a lot of questions.
Yeah,
So, I think this is the last one that we're going to take. And
yeah.
students post this. You can go to the University of Twente room here at the virtual lobby and ask any specific questions. But this one says, do all the universities need AP Physics C for mechanics if I want to do aviation or aerospace?
Um, so you should check with the mainly the website of the University of Delft because I don't have in mind their requirements, but that's the one that are more often like th- that I have in mind for aerospace in particular. Czech, probably physics, yes, but Czech because like I don't have it like the requirements in mind from all the universities, so it's quite difficult. For us with mechanical engineering, it would be because we do have aerospace integrated in mechanical engineering, and then it would be physics and maths. So more than
Fair.
mechanics, yeah.
Yeah. So most of these questions are very specific to the
Yep.
universities that you are looking at, students. Dr. Lisa is here to talk about study in Netherlands. Uh, so this is how it works. The universities that you have shortlisted, you should go on their website to check for the subject requirement for the particular course that you're looking at. But if you want to talk about University of Twente, Dr. Lisa will be in her room. You can go to virtual lobby and join her room and ask her all the specific questions about the universities.
Yeah.
Dr. Lisa, I would like to thank you for taking out the time to be here today.
No,
Any last thoughts on
yeah.
this?
Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, let's like carry on the conversations in the other room. But it was a pleasure, and hope it was a bit like helpful. A lot of information, I know, but yeah, just a synthesis, like an overview.
Very, very insightful. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye bye. So, students, I hope that was a helpful presentation for studying Netherlands. I would be, we would be closing this room right now and we will be coming back here in another 15 minutes for a study in Spain presentation. In the meantime, please go to the virtual lobby, which is on the top of your screen, and make sure to go and meet all the universities present here today. And University of Twente is also there. So if you have any specific questions, please feel free to go and meet them. Thank you very much, and we will see you again in some time.